Here we go. Time for fun. Good luck, everybody. And cue.
An arrest in the I-10 shooting case that has been a nightmare for Valley drivers. Finally, after 3 weeks of terror
Stand by,
on
take
roadways,
9104.1.
intense investigation, thousands of tips into the hotline, an announcement that they have caught their man, Les Merritt Jr., arrested.
And
He
this
is
is on
a
it.
landscaper from Glendale. We will tell you
Stand
more
by,
about
go
him
to
in a
camera
minute.
5.
This is how the world learned of the arrest. It came in shortly before 7 o'clock tonight. It was Arizona Governor Doug Ducey making the announcement on Twitter at 6:52 precisely.
It should
that
be
the I-10 freeway
C3 and
shooter
D2,
is in
2 and 3.
custody. And he has been identified again as 21-year-old
Yep.
Leslie Allen Merritt Jr., a landscaper from Glendale. To say
Stand by,
that
go
he
to two
is,
shot.
certainly a gun enthusiast would be putting it mildly.
And we're on
His
him.
social media is full of that stuff.
And the governor simply tweeting, "We got him."
You got it, man.
And that was actually, that tweet went
Okay, they're
all
ad-libbing
around
till
the
this
state,
news
all around
conference
the country.
starts.
DPS confirming there have been 11 shootings on Valley freeways. They've been able to link 4 to the 9mm handgun
Wait,
that
between
they
the-
believe is linked to this man, Les Merritt Jr. The first one occurring back on August 29th along the I-10 and 19th Avenue. And that's what garnered him the I-10 freeway shooter nickname.
My source tells me that they are going to link him to the first 4 shootings that began again back in August 29th. So we are going to get some of that information. We're awaiting a presser from DPS right now.
Go to the live shot, yeah.
So we had gone
Go to it.
really,
just
8
take
days
it.
And we're on
without anything, and now a major break. This is DPS headquarters, 22nd
have a
Avenue
font
in
for that?
Canto. We're going to hear, we believe, from Colonel Frank Milstead tonight.
There it is.
There we go.
Possibly even the governor, not sure about that. That's Bart Graves, that's Colonel Milstead. And we're going to be hearing from several people involved in this
Tonight, I'm
investigation.
Bart Graves, the spokesman for the Arizona Department
Leaving
of
their
Public
mics
Safety.
open.
Joining us for this
I
news
can bring them
conference
down.
is the Maricopa County Attorney, Bill Montgomery. Tom Atterbury, the
Stand by, go
Special
to
Agent
2
in
box
charge
with
of the ATF,
video on
and
Bobby's queue.
our U.S. Marshal, Federal U.S. Marshal David Gonzalez. Director Frank Milstead of the Arizona Department of Public Safety has an announcement to make. As you are aware, we did make an arrest tonight in
There it
the
is.
case of the
You just said it.
I-10 shooter. With more information on that, the Director of the Arizona Department of Public Safety, Colonel Frank Milstead.
All right, we got Colonel Frank. You got his font ready?
Good evening. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Tonight does not happen without a lot of
And
effort
back to the
from a
regular
lot
one.
of very hardworking men and women in law enforcement.
Keep that.
The
Go back to Frank
collaborative
Milstead.
efforts
Back to
of
Frank.
Arizona law enforcement could not
Put
be
the
any
Frank Milstead
more
up there. Leave it up there.
clearly defined than by this case tonight. The gentlemen standing behind me in their agencies, along with the Phoenix Police Department,
What do you want me to
and
take this 2
notably,
box?
the Phoenix Fire Department in their efforts to help us with the Emergency Operations Center, was a great place to launch this investigation from. Over the last 2 weeks, Arizonans have been terrified by shootings that have been occurring on Interstate 10. Along with that, I believe we have some copycats that decided to participate. Tonight, we've made an arrest in the I-10 shootings that occurred on August 29 that day and on the morning of August 31, 2015.
As soon as we get these fonts updated, we'll go ahead and
Subject
take
is
this
in
2 box.
custody because the weapon that he owned is forensically linked to these crimes.
Ooh.
Arizonans have been incredible in their effort to provide us with leads and tips. I cannot tell you how much it inspires me
Okay,
to
you can
lead
go to
a
the next
police
slide.
organization in a state where the community
Okay.
has such trust
2
for
box?
their law enforcement as they do here in
Yes.
Arizona.
And we're on it.
The governor's office has provided me with everything that I've needed to conduct this investigation, their support and technology and finances that went along with running this investigation.
Let me know if you want to take him or the video full.
Are there others out there? Are there copycats? That is possible.
We'll
We
probably
will
go back to
continue to
him.
investigate.
Okay.
Tonight, I
Tell me
cannot
when you want
give
it.
you a whole lot more detail as interviews and search warrants are underway. But I thought it was important for Arizonans to know that the weapon and the man who we believe that was responsible for what started this spree in Arizona is in custody. Thank you.
Okay, all right, full.
Just a
And
couple
full?
of brief questions.
So you're saying that this man is only responsible for...
Hey, do you want to know if they can get a picture of the guy?
The other 9.
Anchors want to know if
No,
they can get
sir,
a
I'm not
picture
saying
of the
that.
guy.
Is there a number of how many shootings he is related to?
I mean, I have a VO cut.
Right now, we know that he is related to
We have
the
a VO
first
coming up
4
later.
shootings due to the
That's the
weapon
VO
that he
from
owned being
his Facebook
involved in
page.
those shootings.
We have a video coming up later with Facebook pictures.
Move that up to the box.
Now we can't put it in the box.
He is
I
forensically
think
linked
that's-
to the weapon involved
Under
in those
9110.
first.
Well, yeah. If you put it, I can put it in the box,
Read
man.
over.
Yeah, man. That's,
I'm not at liberty to discuss it at this
Well,
time.
put it-
Again, there's
Yeah,
going
put
to
it
be
un- put it un-
follow on this all.
Put it
I know
underneath,
that
though.
Filling in
Huh?
these
Make like a
pieces
new
is
line for it,
important,
yeah?
And you're looking for that. I can't.
Yeah, don't
give it
just
to
change
you
the video
now
ID,
because
just make a
we
new
literally
line.
had this guy in custody for just a number of hours, and there's a lot to be
Underneath
done
91.
before we get to that point. I thank you for coming out, and we'll talk more later.
Thank you all.
All right, open their mics, open their mics.
Opening their mics.
Wow.
That
you
was
just-
interesting. Bill Montgomery, the man who will have to prosecute this guy.
Stand by, go to
the county
CG4,
attorney, is
9110.1.
there, and they all walked out. And I think what you're seeing here is they want to make sure. They want to make sure this is buttoned up. Frank Milstead has only been on the job since February, appointed by Governor Doug Ducey.
Who?
This is his first major test as a director
All right, all right.
of the Department of Public Safety. He wants to make sure this investigation is not compromised in any way. They're
But I
being very
also
careful.
think just as important, you know, they could have come out tomorrow morning with this information. They want the people of Arizona who take the I-10, who
Should I
drive
take
our
this
valley
map?
freeways, who have been.
They're kinda getting
and I'm
weird in
lying,
that screen.
Driving, you know, in a very nervous state
Right,
for
can you go
3 weeks.
CG4?
To know
Back
that
to
they
them?
believe
Yes.
they have caught
Camera
the guy
5,
responsible.
and we're on
talking
it.
about a young man named Les Merritt Jr. And there were four shootings over 2 days that they are linking.
CG4 is still on standby?
August
And
31st.
31st,
have
but
the
there were
map.
4 shootings.
We have the
over
map
the
coming
days.
up.
Nobody was
Third.
killed, thankfully, but there was a 13-year-old girl
Lose.
who was a passenger in one of these
C1.
vehicles who had a
So
minor
that-
injury.
By flying glass.
And
It was
taking
more
it
of the
full.
fear that Arizona was
Absolutely.
Cool,
under.
we got-
Looking
Here's
at
a map, and you see that stretch in that
Stand by, go back to
I-10
camera
corridor,
5 for
and then
9111.
one reaches up on I-17. But keep in mind, we have 3 things going in this investigation. The 3 you see in yellow were projectiles that were possibly fired from the side of the freeway, not on the freeway. My sources tell me that these are linked, the 4 here are linked to a shooter in a car with a handgun, possibly a 9mm handgun, shooting through the window, an open window, to the car. And so these ballistics and the
Because they have to move up on the
trajectories of
prompter to
bullets are gonna be very
9111.
level, as it
That's
would
our
be with
2
another
shot
driver.
coming up.
The other 3 in yellow are from
There's complete
up
ad-libbing
higher,
this.
and are projectiles, possibly some type of BB gun, pellet gun, we don't know.
And Frank Milstead saying there could be a copycat out there that has not been ruled out. Take a look at this map, though. 1,
Oh, I was about
2,
to take
and
them.
3,
Good
4.
job.
Those are the first 4 shootings. They were all a 9mm handgun, and they were in those first 2 days. What Colonel Milstead said are linked to this shooter. So they were right there along the I-10, basically from about 19th Avenue to the 51, and that's where this whole thing started. And as we kind of move along here, we've got
We're on 'em?
reporters all over covering this story all over the valley.
Nicole Garcia has been looking into Les Merritt Jr.'s social media profile, which is very, very interesting. She has
We're on
more
it?
on that tonight. This has been a remarkable night, Nicole.
And anchor measure down.
Yeah, a huge break for DPS
Going
in this
9115
case.
next for
Like you
VO.
said, it's been 3 weeks since this investigation began, since the shootings began.
You got it.
And finally tonight, DPS can say they have a suspect in custody. The suspect is Leslie
Go to
Allen
it.
Merritt
Yeah.
Jr.
And we're on it.
And while DPS Director Frank
Good job
Milstead
on that
not
font.
saying a
Going
lot
back
about
to
the
her
suspect
next.
during his news conference, we did find out a lot about him on social media. He has a Facebook page, or there is a Facebook page that appears to be linked to the suspect.
45 seconds
Les
of
Merritt
video left.
Jr. And on that Facebook page, several posts, many posts about guns and rifles. The posts are pro-gun,
Well, I
pro
can't-
Second
yeah,
Amendment.
hold on.
There are
I
several
won't be able to
posts
hear it, but I'll
and
look
even a
at it.
video on there of the suspect shooting
It's just
guns
really
as well. So from what we gather on his Facebook page,
the boy on
we're
the-
finding that he is into guns. Also on that Facebook
Anchors need to be on
timeline,
9117.
several
There they go, they're there.
anti-government rants. And interestingly enough, also several
15 seconds left of
posts
video.
of news stories related to the
I'll write it
I-10
to the
shooting
end.
investigation, including sharing stories that we covered on Fox 10 about the
5,
investigation.
4,
So
3,
again,
2,
DPS director not
and we're on
saying
her.
much about the suspect yet, but if this
Going
is indeed his Facebook
9117.1
page
next.
and it is linked to him, there are several things on that Facebook page that appear to be related to the shooting investigation, namely all the links and the shares that he articles that he shared about about the I-10 shooting investigation. Again, DPS is questioning him at headquarters.
Do you want any kind of talk back here with
They've
anchors?
only had him in custody for several
Do you want any kind of
hours,
talk
but
back or
after he's
anything?
done being questioned, he is expected
No,
to be
okay.
booked here into the 4th Avenue Jail. All of this developing starting right around 7 o'clock this evening when the governor sent out that tweet saying we got him. So a huge break, a
Good
huge
job,
night
Nicole.
for DPS, having a shooter in custody, a suspect in custody being questioned right now. And interestingly enough, all of this happening on the same day that the person of interest who was originally taken into custody over a week ago, those charges against that person, Oscar Munoz, has been dismissed, and he is being released from jail tonight as we speak as well. Again, Leslie Allen Merritt Jr. being named the suspect in the I-10 shooting investigation, being linked to the first 4 shootings happening on August 29th and August 31st. Forensic evidence linking a gun in his possession to those crimes.
All right,
so
stand by,
again,
go to
he is
VO.
expected to be booked here into the 4th Avenue Jail once he is done being questioned by DPS. Of course, we'll continue to follow this development
Bringing up
story,
anchor
and
mics.
as we learn more about this suspect, we'll bring that to you. Back to you guys.
And we're up.
And he was taken down at a Walmart in the Northwest Valley. But take a look
All right,
at this.
camera
I think
5
this
is
a
next.
pawn shop. This was critical in the case. This is a pawn shop at 12th Street in Indian
9118 is next, and then Marcy's our next live shot.
Merritt Jr. allegedly tried to pawn off a gun earlier today. The sources with the city say lab analysis confirmed the same gun to the Freeway shooting as the person who pawned off and purchased this 9mm handgun. And this is where possibly the investigators were able to apprehend and grab that gun and then do the ballistics testing.
It sounds as if
Fabian, you could advance CG2.
a different gun today at that gun.
Thank you.
Guns or at the pawn shop, and then a gun earlier used in the earlier shootings was recovered from that pawn shop, and then they were doing ballistics tests on it.
Stand by,
and that's
camera
what
5.
led them to conclude that he's their guy. The
We're on
suspect
it.
was taken into custody, as Kerry mentioned, outside
Going
of
to Marcy
Walmart at
next,
59th
Router
Avenue in
19.
Northern. A heavy police presence out there tonight. Police swarmed in. They got their man.
Our Marcy Jones spoke with relatives of the Merritts. This is the man who is the suspect, and she is live outside of the
We're on it.
Walmart with more. This must have been
Stuart.
a scene
There
when
she
they
is.
took this guy in.
And go
I was
ahead.
just going to say, Carrie and John,
Mics
to
are
say
down.
that Walmart shoppers got much more than
Going
they bargained for
9122
when they
next
came
or
here tonight
VO?
would be the understatement of the century. In fact, we spoke to a couple just a little bit ago.
Is
who
she
said
going
when
straight
they
to SOT?
pulled up,
No.
they had the scare of a lifetime. They said they saw
Oh.
10 to 15
Yeah,
men.
just the way she was
dressed head
talking
to
was like she was
toe
gonna toss
in
to the SOT.
military gear
I was like,
with
no, no,
what
no.
they described as
Not there yet.
AR-15s. Then dozens more
I'm gonna
unmarked
take it.
cars
She's looking
and
down.
units, and the Glendale police came. That's when they said that they saw the suspect, Leslie Merritt, and they were surprised. They described him as a little bit chubby, short, beard, very docile, and very compliant. They also said that there was absolutely no talking, no yelling, no
Stand by,
screaming,
go
that
to
this
SOT.
was all done in silence. We were told after
If I run low on
Leslie was
video, I'm
taken
going
away,
back to her
officers
live.
kind of hung back, took pictures
Where
of his
she's at, she's
vehicle,
on
fingerprints.
Router
You mentioned
19.
the pawn shop earlier. There was a
Let me get
bumper
that
sticker
ready.
that said Mo Money
Just in
Pawn
case,
on
there we
it,
go.
as well as a grenade sticker on that.
What?
And then that was eventually towed away. That's a gray Saturn. Now, we spoke to his soon-to-be mother-in-law, Cynthia. Now, she showed up very upset, saying her grandbaby and her daughter were with Leslie at the time.
I just lost
and
a video.
she
I just
said
lost
he
a SOT.
absolutely did not do this.
You lost a SOT.
I just lost a SOT. I'm gonna.
No.
Nope, we lost it. Going back to her live.
Stand by. What the fuck, dude?
Right before we took it.
What the hell, dude? What? What's
Ro-
going on? What's going on?
It sounds like we're having a little bit of trouble with the sound right now, but she was very passionate. She said this is not
It was
like
online and
Leslie.
went
He has a
offline as
huge
soon as we
heart.
got
He
there.
would never
I
do
know,
this.
her phone talking-
She
somebody
also
needs to say
addressed
it
the
sounded like
Facebook thing that Nicole was talking about a little bit
What the
earlier
hell?
about how
What
he's very
happened?
pro-gun,
I was
talks
on
about
it,
guns a lot.
and then
She said
right
they
before I
might
took
have
it,
seen
you see my
things on
pre-
Facebook.
Is
It's
it up?
not true.
Let me
It's
try
not
it.
true. So still
Yeah,
a lot
we'll
of
do a talk
questions
back.
left to
You
be
have it?
answered, and of course Fox
No.
10 will bring that to
Can you
you
run it?
as soon as
Hold on.
they come in.
I have
Reporting
it.
live in Glendale,
Yeah.
Marcy Jones, Fox 10 News.
Marcy, I'm not sure if you got a up-close look at that car, but I had heard some reports that
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
some of
I
his
got it now,
windows
but
had cracks
sounds
and
like we're
broken
past it.
windows in them. Did you see anything like that in that gray
What
Saturn
did you
that
tell
he was
me?
allegedly?
I didn't
I have
see
it.
any cracks.
You have
I
it?
know
I have
that
it.
they were
You run it?
fingerprinting.
I can.
I didn't see any cracks, Gary. I know that they were fingerprinting. The police were kind of all over it, so there was a lot of smudge. But I did only see the left side of the car.
And Marcy, we understand that they had had an
And now
eye
we're
on
gonna hear-
him for some time today. They had been tailing him for some time.
Toss it when you're ready.
Yes.
Okay.
We've heard that,
Sorry,
and
I'm sorry, say
actually,
again?
that's why it was surprising when the mother-in-law was so surprised that this even happened. She said that they were going out, quote, for wipies and diapers, and didn't know why he didn't return.
Right, they've got a
Let's
little girl.
take a listen to that sound. I think we've been able to get
Go
that
ahead.
sound.
This
and
is-
listen.
Hold on. They're still talking to me.
There's no way with those shootings are happening that he would be
I'm
there.
going back to
There's
Marcy
no
or
way.
to Anchors?
So they're full of
Who do you want
shit.
next? Back to Marcy? Okay.
How long this is?
I have a minute 20 left of video.
They never get their story right. And you know what? Believe me, because I know Glendale's, all their detectives, they're full of shit too. And you know what? I'm speaking because I know my son-in-law has a big heart, and he would not do anything like that. And for them to come at them with a baby. My granddaughter, yes.
What's your son-in-law's name?
His name is Leslie. And
I know you said you didn't want to talk, but this is a great time if you need to say something to say.
Good job,
I'm just
Marcy.
saying he's not like that. That's not even him. That's not even in his heart. Wait, baby. It's not
Your
even
daughter
in his...
was with him at the
My
time.
daughter's with him. Yeah, she's
Good recovery,
she's
guys.
dating him.
And why are you
We
saying
needed
that
this
is
sock.
absolutely not him?
Because Leslie is
You hear
not
me? I
like
have
that.
to check-
That's
I have to
not
check.
Leslie.
I have about 30
Leslie
seconds left
has
of
a big
video.
heart. He would not do
So
this,
here's what we're gonna
especially
do.
when
We're gonna go
he's
to a
working
break.
hard to support his 2 kids.
Again,
This is his son.
we're going to do a
And
quick
he
video.
goes to work
Anchors
and
is
he
gonna
does
talk to
everything
you,
that he's supposed to
kinda
be
recap
doing.
what happened.
And he
I'm
goes
having,
beyond for his
DEP
kids. And I
cut a
know he
quick
didn't
bite
do
from
this.
the
I
presser.
know too. And I
Stand
know
by,
he
Marcy.
didn't do this. And I just say it just makes me mad because you know what? They don't even call me, but they call my daughter. They let my daughter call me, but they won't even get on the phone to tell me where they're at. I want to know where my granddaughter's at, and I want to know
And here
where
we
my
go.
daughter's at.
And we're out.
You're live.
Cute.
As you can see, she was very worked up. She was convinced that he had
They're still looking for a
nothing to
picture of the
do with
suspect
this.
out there.
So there's still a lot of
I think it's in the next
information
block,
missing
dude.
and a lot of puzzle pieces
We have just a
missing
2
here
shot,
because
then we're
as
gonna
you
break.
heard
They're talking
earlier
to break
in
on
the
this next
conference
camera
state
shot.
that this gun was forensically linked to Leslie.
Right,
That's
Marcy.
exactly right. That can't be understated. That is a strong statement from DPS that his gun is linked to these crimes.
You know, I think
And
that listening to that mother,
we're going to them?
she's feeling like probably everybody else in the
She's shot.
valley. If you
Please,
found
shot.
out
Whew.
your relative did this, because
Tossing a
the
break
whole
from here.
valley
Okay,
has
so you're gonna
wanted
be able
this
to take the
person
camera
caught,
with
all of Arizona, and then to find out that it's somebody you
I'm
know.
following you.
Yeah,
I got
and
you.
he will
Hard to
have his
accept.
day in court.
Bart's
He's
gonna
being
be talking
interrogated
again.
as we speak right now. We are learning more as we go through this
I gotta take a
newscast.
break, yeah.
We're back in a minute after a quick break.
And we're on it.
Yeah, please. Yeah, go ahead.
They're almost here.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Anita Roman. Didn't have a chance to put my makeup on yet.
All right, looks like Bart is
Full House is not going to go away.
No, ever.
Now we have to say
Stand by to go to break.
Okay.
And we're out.
Oh, Bart's there. Bart's
Fox
there.
10 News Alert, let's recap what we know tonight. A suspect in the
Can you go
string
right
of
to
freeway
Bart?
shootings.
From here?
Right out of the
Forensically
VO.
linked
Yes.
to 4. The first
Bart
4
Graves is talking.
shootings.
We're going right to Bart.
His name is Leslie Allen Merritt Jr., 21 years
She's
old.
talking right now.
DPS talking right now. This is Bart Graves,
ADOS
spokesperson
signs will
for
stay up
DPS.
through this weekend,
Let me get a phone.
and
Okay, just keep it
as
there
well as
for
the
a minute.
billboards, because I think
Yeah, good. All right.
the more tips we can elicit from the public makes our case very stronger. And so that's what's...
Okay, so I'm skipping this Danielle
for me, at least
VO.
for this
My next
weekend,
thing is going to be
those signs will continue to be up
just a regular 2 shot.
in this case.
I'm going to take that from here.
Phoenix area should feel,
And-
should they be relieved? Should they still be vigilant? Should they,
I think they
All
should,
right, I have
still
Bart
be
Graves'
vigilant.
phone.
They should be
9206 is Bart Graves' phone.
they should be relieved that
Okay, I
through all
added
the
just
incredible,
a basic
work of
2
these
shot
detectives from federal,
as my next
state,
shot right now.
That's
DPS
fine,
and
so
local
we'll-
law enforcement culminated in this arrest tonight. That they should be
Okay.
relieved that
waiting
we've been
for
working
the stop.
diligently
I'm gonna kill
to bring
9208.
this case to a close
On shop. Boom,
and
boom,
to
boom.
find
Don't worry
the
about
person
the
or
box.
persons
Yeah, right
responsible
now I
for
skipped the
this,
3 box. My next shot right now
for
is that
this
2 shot.
horrific act.
That's on preview.
So we have 2 VOs
Like I say,
ready
the
and-
investigation will continue.
I can take that VO
to
whenever
make
you
sure
want.
that we,
9207.
like I said earlier today when I had the briefing, to make sure we have a rock solid
I'll take it with
case.
his audio if you want.
At this point, we really want to thank the public
And again,
for their
anchors
patience,
are tossing a brake
because
mic,
this was
let them
a
know.
long, painstaking
Whenever they're done, there's
investigation,
nothing-
as you all know, and which we could not say a whole lot.
This is
and still
Danielle.
can't
This
say
is
a whole lot
her.
at
This is
point.
her. Yeah, we
We have
can.
to take the mic out and plug the mic in.
Yep.
this man tried to pawn a handgun?
Yeah, Carrie wants the picture. I can read her lips.
What's that?
Carrie still wants a picture.
At this point, I can't go beyond much of
Maybe
what
too much.
Director Milstead said.
They're working on it right now?
That's the first
Well,
time
that's
we've
what I'm saying. Do you
discussed
want to have his mic over some
in this
VO?
investigation.
I can put his VO right now.
Suffice to
And
say,
see
in
the
the
mic up?
next
Yeah.
couple days, we will have more on
I
that.
can put
and
up
we'll
this
confirm
VO
that
right here. It's an
information
alpha.
or deny it.
Go to generic and then.
All right, stand by for generic, and we're on generic.
Yes, he was
Yeah,
arrested
no
at that
worries, 'cause
Walmart
he's talking.
with a
Stand by,
with
go
a
back
gun
to remote 1.
and a 5-year-old child. They were not taken into custody, and he was, and that's about all I can say about that.
I'm going to pull that Facebook
I
video
think he
down
was
real
outside.
And the woman, is she a person of interest?
No.
Two shots off the break. Yeah.
Okay,
I can't
added
really
a
comment
video
on
after
that.
this.
The investigation is
On shot for
continuing.
the
That's
Facebook.
Where is it? What number is it?
At this point, in terms
Put
of
it
this
after
particular
9209,
arrest,
please.
I think this is the result of old-fashioned police work.
Make
So
it
at this point,
9209.1. Make
But,
that the VO, please.
At this point, no.
So is he in any way connected to Oscar?
Okay, his
No,
stuff
he
is
is
ready.
not.
His Facebook is ready.
They don't know each other.
Is Oscar Munoz still a person of interest?
At this point, yes. Part of our overall
What
investigation.
photo? Oh, I only use video.
Anything else? Like I said, that's not a whole lot I can say at this point.
Okay. Pictures ready. Should I go to it?
We have not.
Okay.
And there's a reason for that. He has not officially been booked yet, so we are reticent to do that right now.
Oh, like writing?
Maybe
I'm
soon.
gonna put this
All
up.
right, don't go to that VO.
Don't go to it. Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get back to you on that.
I'm gonna go to him live. We've been on this VO a long time. Get ready to phone him.
You guys were able
And we're on him.
No, there's something wrong with the VO here.
Something wrong with the VO? Okay.
Upload it. Sorry.
Well, as the director answered that question.
Picked up on Storyteller?
And I just did, again,
Graphic 6.
that this investigation
That's
is
photo?
continuing, that these
Okay, let me find my hot
signs are
punch on
continuing to
that.
stay illuminated, asking the public's help for tips, and that it's still open. We're still connecting all of the
All right, stand by. Take this.
missing links here.
And we're on it.
I can't comment on that.
The reason I asked that side question is when I drove over here, there was
Stand by. Go back to remote 1.
silver alert up there, but not.
I think some of them alternate, but as far as I know, they should be still up.
I know he's only been here for a little bit, Mark, but is he cooperating?
That I can't really comment on. I'm not privy to that information.
Can you give us any more detail on how you connected your weapon to him?
What's going on, Mike? What does she want?
I think all of that
Okay, I'm
will
on
be
it.
made clear in the next
I'll let
few
her
days.
direct me from out there. They want their mics up? All right, bringing up their mics. Stand by in 3, 2.
Les Merritt Jr., 21 years old. He is the suspect.
Slightly older picture, by the way. I was on his Facebook page
He's got a
just
beard
few minutes
now,
ago.
right?
Stand by. Go
He
to
does.
2
He's
shot.
got a growth, and that's why that may not look exactly like the picture of the man that you saw being taken into DPS
I think
headquarters.
it's safe to say there was a collective sigh of relief at 6:52 p.m. when Governor Doug Ducey tweeted out, "We got him," and he was referring to this man right here, who they are calling the Freeway shooter. Now, they say there may be some copycats out there, but they believe this is the man who started that reign of terror 3 weeks ago on August 29th. 4 shootings in 2 days, and it was really over the I-10. And these were shot, these bullets were from a 9mm handgun that they have forensically linked to a gun that they say Les Merritt pawned off at a Valley pawn shop. And we've got
Somebody's
pictures of that
off?
pawn shop at 12th and Indian School. And that's kind of how this
Don't
case
take that
broke
VO,
open.
right?
They started following it today.
And again, those are 2
So pot-
shootings each day on
I can
August
take pawn
29th
shop?
and August 31st. So what Bart Graves is saying there during that press conference is that they've linked 4 so far, but they're working on linking the other ones that are connected to a handgun. That would be 4 more. There were 8 that are linked to bullets, but then 3 more freeway shootings that were linked to some type of
Stand by, go back to
projectile,
Storyteller.
possibly fired from a rifle. And maybe from the side of the freeway. Different MO than shooting it out of the side of your car.
This is the pawn shop where the gun was allegedly pawned
job,
off.
Carrie.
And it's interesting because the suspect's car had a Mo Money pawn shop bill or sticker on it that said criminal control, not gun control. And there were 3 shootings on August 29th. First one happening in the morning. First 3 happening in the morning, actually, and then we had one on the 30th.
There it is, Mo Money. As we zoom in, you can see it clearly. That is Mo Money Pawn Shop.
So those are the ones that have been linked to the gun that was then found at Mo Money Pawn Shop. So
Stand by to
I
talk
think
to them.
there is just a really big feeling of relief right now across the valley.
And
'Cause,
we're
we've
going
been
to them.
grappling with a little bit of tension.
No doubt, no doubt.
Especially on
Let
the
me
I-10.
share with you one thing. An impeccable source
Going to break.
tonight
Yes.
connected to this investigation told me, I said, how sure are you? And that person said 98 to 99% sure
Wow.
that they've got the key player in this. But again, the projectile shootings, that's a different matter.
Well,
maybe a completely different
Colonel
person.
Mills said acknowledging that there may be copycats out there.
That's
So
exactly
they're
right.
keeping the signs up. They're going to continue to have people calling in with tips if you know anything about that. But I think the most dangerous character in this whole thing may have been captured tonight if they do indeed have their man. And it sounds like your source says they do.
They are very, very confident, but they want to talk to him tonight, and they are
have him
interrogating
toss.
him at this hour. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be
And we'll
back
be
in a
back.
moment.
And we're out. Here we go. Please, Carrie. Stay within around 2 minutes.
Well,
Thank you.
decent day, great day across the valley, and it looks like we're setting up for at least part of the weekend being really nice. And do we have enough moisture in the air to even create some of the storms? And at 46
Sure,
dew
Rap.
point, we don't.
Yeah.
We need to look for 55 and above, and we'll get 55 and above, which we're seeing down in Douglas. Then we have enough moisture
After the
for
after
that to
the
happen.
3-box?
So
No,
across
after,
the valley, here's what we look like for this
Oh,
weekend.
okay, I
One or
see
two,
that.
pretty nice tomorrow. We'll see some clouds moving in on Sunday, a slight chance of rain showers and thunderstorms. 102, I think the best chance is going to be in the afternoon. We've got some subtropical moisture moving up. Monday and Tuesday
Rapper
could
again.
be very big rainmakers across the state. We've got moisture moving in from Baja, Mexico, and it looks like it's going to be a mainstay on Monday and Tuesday. So be prepared for more storms. If you need to get sandbags and all of that to protect your home and property, you might want to go ahead and do that this weekend to get ready for the more storms that we're expecting on Monday and Tuesday. And there's your 10-day, the remainder of it. You can get weather 24/7 on fox10phoenix.com.
And we're fading to black. Here we go.
Fox 10 News Alert tonight. Good news, as the governor said, we got him, and he's referring to the Freeway shooter. Governor Ducey tweeting out just before 7 o'clock, the guy taken down at a Walmart in the Northwest Valley, and they believe this is the man responsible for a reign of terror on Valley freeways that had everybody driving and
we're
feeling
on two
very
shot.
nervous out on the road.
His name is Leslie Allen Merritt Jr. He's a
Somebody go Danielle.
landscaper from Glendale. He is 21 years old. He is a suspect.
Do they know we're
that,
talking? They're not
we
anywhere near on the
believe
script.
Is
Okay.
going to be linked, at least by DPS. They're saying will be linked to 4 of the shootings, the first 4 that happened over a 2-day period, really August 29th, August 31st. And Daniel Miller right now has more on this situation. Danielle, we've got a picture of the suspect, a little better picture of him from Facebook. We can talk about that, but this is rapid developments tonight after 8 days of nothing. Very quiet for 8 days until today.
That's exactly right, John. Obviously,
Green
for
Light
2
Anchor
weeks,
Mike.
people here in
Standby,
Arizona
go storyteller
have been
full.
terrified to travel on our valley freeways, and definitely a major step in the right direction. Now, we just wrapped up a press
we not have a
conference here
life
with
on for her?
DPS. They just briefed us
No?
on everything that's going
Okay.
on here. And
And
21-year-old,
standby,
as
go,
you guys
and we're on
mentioned,
it.
Leslie Merritt Jr. was arrested
We're
as a main
9207 next
suspect
for a
in the
VO.
I-10 shooting case. They say he was the one that they believe started the shooting sprees to begin with. They say he is linked by forensic evidence
And
from
we're
a
on
gun
VO.
that he actually owns to at least 4
We have a SOT next
shootings.
night,
Now,
208.
those shootings happened on August 29th and August 31st. DPS tonight here at this press conference not telling us too much because they say that they're actually in the very beginning stages of questioning.
And we're on it.
Tonight, I cannot give
Standby,
you a
go
whole
back
lot
to remote
more
1 and then
detail
the 3-box.
as interviews and search warrants are underway. But I thought it was important for Arizonans to know that the weapon and the man who we believe that was responsible for what started this spree in Arizona is in custody.
And we're on her.
And Merritt has not been
Ooh, barely
officially
got her audio
charged
there.
yet, but some things
Standby
that he
3-box.
could be looking at is endangerment, aggravated assault, and criminal damage. Now, DPS telling us tonight that this case is in no way over.
Bringing
They
up
say
anchor
they
mics.
believe that there are
Are they ready, Mike?
copycats out there. They tell us that
All
all
right.
of the freeway signs along the valley
bringing up their
freeways
mics.
will continue to stay illuminated, and the public needs to remain vigilant. Also, continue calling in those tips. And we've heard about this $50,000 reward
As soon as I
for
hear the
anybody
anchors, I'll
turning
take
in
the
a
3-box.
suspect or leading to an arrest. DPS telling us that that reward is still valid because they say the $50,000 reward isn't linked to this case because it was good old-fashioned police work that led to tonight's arrest. Reporting live, Danielle Miller, Fox 10 News.
And we're going to find out a lot more
we're on
about
it.
how this whole thing went down. But what I'm hearing is that they were following this guy today. And I think it's interesting, Danielle, that Colonel Milstead said this weapon was forensically linked to these crimes. So these 2 dates 4 shootings, they were able to get that weapon and then link it to those crimes.
At least those 4, and they're probably working now backwards
the rest,
and trying to get the rest.
Exactly. He said there's actually obviously these 4 that he's for certain linked to, but there's definitely a lot of shootings that we know of. They said they're going to be going down the line, seeing if any of these other shootings match up with this same forensic evidence that led them to this arrest tonight.
Danielle, you're at the impound yard right there at DPS, is that correct?
That's correct.
Have they brought that Saturn in that was his car linked to the crime?
We haven't seen his car, but actually he was brought in here, and I believe he's actually being questioned here tonight, so they'll be taking him from here to the jail. We haven't seen his Saturn come in yet, but he was brought here.
Let's, I don't know if we can show the video of the Walmart, but let's talk a little bit about how this went down from witnesses, from people who were at the Walmart, 59th Avenue.
6:45 tonight, 6:45 tonight.
59th Avenue in Northern, we're told 10 to 15 men in SWAT gear with AR-15 military gear surround the suspect who's with his girlfriend
Put it
and their 5-year-old
underneath
child.
9210.
And if you can even imagine being
Put it
a
underneath
Walmart
9210,
shopper and having this go down, how terrifying it must have been for the people who were there. But it sounds like they took him down with no incident.
Well, and they know they're dealing with
recode it.
who's potentially armed, and given what we've seen on his Facebook platform, he was very into guns and had a lot of guns. So they don't know what they're going to be dealing with. They want to make sure they're ready as well.
Right. And Daniel, the Milstead talked a lot about this collaborative effort with Phoenix PD and SWAT and Phoenix Fire Department, and just how all of the law enforcement around the valley got together to make this happen with good old-fashioned police work.
That's exactly right. He said none of this would have even been possible without the help from all of the law enforcement agencies, even national agencies coming in here to help. And obviously the public tips as well. He says those do help. It's just tonight, though, that forensic evidence was good old-fashioned police work that led to tonight's arrest.
Let's just back up for a moment. People may wonder why this came out, and that is the car there. And by the way, that's the bumper sticker talking about this pawn shop, and then the grenade sticker on the back of his car as well. We're talking about kind of a little chain of command here. This is a little inside baseball, but why did the governor, why was he the one to announce this at 6:52 tonight over Twitter? Well, keep in mind, he is Frank Milstead's boss. He appointed Frank Milstead to head up DPS back on February 10th of this year. So the governor really, he's the boss, and he got to break the good news, and he did so tonight at 6:52, saying, "We got him."
I got the 3 box ready. I was able to do
is
it.
in custody of the individual suspected
right now, video
of the I-10 shootings apprehended moments ago. That was at 6:52 tonight, 7 minutes after they arrested the suspect at that Walmart at 59th and Northern.
And he's been really all over this case, saying it was a really important case that all Arizona resources would go into it. So good news tonight. I know everyone's breathing a sigh of relief. What a great way to go into the weekend, knowing that we can drive with a little more
insurance,
and not being so concerned. We're going to take a quick break. We're back with the big story that it appears they have captured the I-10 shooter. They have a man in custody. We'll be right back.
I'll run it.
I'm Andrea Robinson. Join Fox 10 at the Walk for Hope to Cure Breast Cancer, Sunday, October 4th. Your registration fee is
Give me a second. I just want to make sure I hit this break.
This
is a new promo I've never seen before.
For the whole family and for a great cause. Walk for Hope to Cure Breast Cancer, Sunday, October 4th.
Let me know. Yeah.
All right.
An arrest in the Freeway shootings. Leslie Merritt, 21 years old, a landscaper from Glendale. And we've got a picture of him here, and we talk about the social media now becoming a portal into somebody's life. And there's a picture of him right there.
Kind of has a baby face, doesn't he? You think he's 21, and if they've got their man, and you say your source says they do.
98 to 99%.
This is the person that had everyone feeling
from
really
this one
terrified out there.
Now, again, he's got a girlfriend that he's about to marry. He has 2 kids, and I want to show you something. This was from November of last year. This, again, is just a little view, and his Facebook page was filled with stuff like this, of him shooting guns, showing guns.
Possibly with his little child there.
Yeah, there was a 5-year-old child who was with him at the Walmart tonight, along with his wife. when he was arrested,
Camera
taken down at the Walmart
4,
at
we're on 'em?
59th Avenue in Northern, and that happened at
I'm looking for
6:45
it. Do you guys
tonight
remember
when he was
CP4's
taken
at?
into
I just
A
saw
lot
it.
of people go to driving ranges, shoot guns, own guns, and don't pull what this guy allegedly pulled.
Oh, of course.
But it's interesting to look at his Facebook profile because it's very heavy on gun. He was actually putting a lot of
Who's driving
stories
Coke?
about
You
the
find it,
freeway
the hot-
shooter as well.
That's exactly right.
So now that, in hindsight, now that he's been
I'm
arrested,
looking
it's
for
interesting
it.
to
We
see
don't
that. I
have
don't know if we can pull up the map of where the shootings
had it.
occurred.
One of those postings, by the
Hold
way,
on, give me a
said,
second.
I don't worry about driving the I-10. I'm from the west side. He was. There were a couple of very pointed, interesting comments.
Now we're on
there.
it?
I don't know if we've got the map.
Yes, we
Here's
do.
the map.
I got
Now,
everything.
the first 3 shootings
They're going back to
happened
the desk,
Saturday,
so I'm
August
going straight
29th.
to
The first
two
one
shot
was an
next.
SUV, and it was traveling eastbound.
Oh,
13-year-old
that's the
girl was
wrong
hit with
SUV.
glass and had to be treated at the scene. And then within 15 minutes, a commercial tour bus was hit going westbound in that same area. Later that night, a car going eastbound on the I-10 was hit. And then the next day, at night, a car going westbound was hit. Those are the 4 cases, the 4
Stand by, go to them.
shootings that have been linked to the gun that this suspect, Mr. Merritt, allegedly
And we're on
pawned
them?
off at a Valley pawn shop. So it's not,
Stand
they're
by,
not
go to
saying
voodoo
they're not going
report.
to link all these other cases. Those are the 4 that have forensically been linked to a gun that they believe he owned.
And so now they move kind of backwards and try to link potentially this same suspect to the other 4 bullet-involved shootings from a 9mm handgun, probably at street level, right out of the side of the window of the car. That's the operating theory. But then the other 3 shootings, projectiles fired from possibly above the freeway on the side of the freeway. That could be a whole separate person. We'll just have to wait and see.
We are covering this story. We've got 3 reporters on it tonight. We've got crews in the newsroom working this story. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with much more continuing coverage.
We're on it.
Now, was like, you put the storyteller on his Facebook page.
Okay, stand by, go storyteller full next.
32 straight days. The national average for regular unleaded keeps falling, now down every day since August 18th. You're paying around $2.30 a gallon. No cheering on Wall Street, though. Stocks tanking the very day after the Federal Reserve kept interest rates unchanged amid some new worries over the global economy now.
What happened?
Everyone looks like a worry. Meantime, it looks like families are getting serious when it comes to putting away cash for college. It turns out nearly 75% of kids age 18 or under now have at least some kind of savings for college. And millennials graduating college might have jobs, but a bunch of them still don't have a home of their own.
So they're
according
talking straight to
to
break.
a new survey, around 60% of workers between the ages of 25 and 34 are living with mom and dad. And nothing says fall like free pizza. At least that's what Domino's thinks. Because starting Monday and lasting all next week, the pizza chain is offering a buy one, get one free deal celebrating the beginning of fall. The deal is only good for takeout orders. The Pope will be in town, so I'm sure he'll be calling. That's business. I'm Neil Cavuto.
And we're out.
Fox 10 News Alert, we've been reporting it since earlier tonight. This is the man who DPS says is the freeway shooter. He's a 21-year-old. His name's Leslie Merritt Jr. And the governor tweeting out at just a little bit before 7 tonight, we got him. And I think there was a collective sigh of relief across the valley and state to think that we can draw it without being so nervous anymore.
Here's the key. DPS saying that this suspect is forensically linked, meaning his gun and the bullets recovered in the first 4 freeway shootings. That this young man, 21-year-old Leslie Allen Merritt, is the suspect. He's been forensically linked to those first 4 crimes in the string of 11 freeway shootings that are confirmed by DPS that began back on August 29th and then suddenly stopped September 10th. We had 8 days of nothing, and then tonight this arrest.
Important to note that Colonel Milstead with DPS said some of these shootings that we have been covering over the last 3 weeks could be copycats. They have not gone through and linked this suspect to all of them, but they have linked that one gun which was pawned off, they say, by the suspect at a Valley pawn shop to those first 4 shootings. 3 of them happening on Saturday, August 29th, 1 happening on Sunday, August 30th. And that was enough evidence to get the warrant for his arrest, and it went down. This is the pawn shop.
This is the Mo Money Pawn Shop, and this is at 12th Street Indian School, and this is where the gun was located by DPS apparently a few days ago.
1 minute.
They located the gun that was used in these shootings, forensically linked it to the shootings, and then just today, this suspect, we are told by sources, went to this pawn shop to pawn off another gun, a second gun. They were tailing him most of the day, apparently.
Stand by,
and
go
then
two
it
shot.
led to that Walmart at 59th and Northern,
And
where he was arrested tonight.
And that is where the SWAT team moved in. 10 to 15 men in black with AR-15s, military gear, with a
30
search warrant
seconds.
in hand, went
Stand by
down to
to
make
talk
the
to them.
arrest of this young man, 21 years
Three,
old, Leslie Merritt Jr.,
two,
in the parking
and we're on
lot
him.
in a dramatic fashion. He's with his girlfriend and his five-year-old son.
Yeah. And on the back of his car, a Mo Money pawn shop sticker. There was a bumper sticker on the car that was seized from him, taken at the scene.
So-
Major developments tonight on a Friday night, and again, a collective
10,
sigh of relief that
9,
maybe they've
8,
got this guy off the streets,
7,
at least responsible
And
for
a
some of the
collaborative of
5,
work with Phoenix PD, Phoenix
4,
Fire, and DPS.
3,
Good police work out
2,
there to the men and women who did this.
Troy with much more coming up at 10.
And we're out.